To Kaduna, where we have updates regarding the release of the 137 kidnapped schoolgirls. We have updates from our correspondent in Kaduna. We have Marvelous Obomanu joining us to give us updates. Good morning, Marvelous. What's the update regarding the schoolgirls, and have they been able to see their parents yet?
Yeah, good morning. You're aware that on Monday, the military handed over these 137 released school children to the governor. And then during that handover on Monday, we were unable to cite any parent around. Those that were available at that moment was just the government officials, the heads of security agencies in Kaduna State, media organizations. Those are the people present on ground during the handover. And then the military handed over to the governor physically 131 students, then saying that the remaining 6 were still undergoing medical care at their facility. Now, let me just highlight some of the gray areas. During that particular handover, no parent was on ground to authenticate that, yes, these children that were rescued were the original students that were abducted from Kuriga. So that authentication was not done. So these parents are the only ones who know their children, to know if their children, all of them were rescued or not. So the parents were not on ground. And as yesterday, we were hearing that the governor will have a banquet with the parents and then the students. But at the end of the day, we hear that the parents were not even around during that banquet. It was just the government officials and the students, after which they say the students are now going for a therapeutic session for rehabilitation, more or less like a chemotherapy for them. But then you will now ask yourself, these children are minors. Even from the document we saw that the military brought out, the age bracket we saw was 12, 13, 14, 15, and I think the highest I saw was about 16. So these children are still minors. None of them were up to the age of 18 years. So the question is, should the government, take these children for medical examination without the consent of their parents, who were not even on ground? Just like I informed us yesterday, one of the parents I spoke with was even asking if the children have been handed over to the government, and when will the government allow them to see their children? That was what one of the parents was asking us. So I can confirm to you now, even as I'm talking to you now, we are not sure if these parents have seen their children, and to authenticate if these children that were kidnapped were those originally abducted from LEA Primary School, Kuriga. That is one. Another gray area is the fact that we are still having discrepancy in that figure. Remember, even as on Sunday morning when the governor released a statement, he alluded that the children that were kidnapped was 287. Just as think about 4 hours later, the military now released a statement that the children they released were just 137. In fact, if these children were really 137, in the last 3 weeks, the figure that the media has been giving is 287. The governor, in fact, made a brazen statement that what the media was reporting was not accurate. It was an insult on us because since this incident happened, what we've been reporting was 287, according to the data that was given us at Kuriga, and him too was saying that it was 287, which was contained in his original statement. Now saying that what the media was reporting was accurate and not, I think is unconfounded. And now even the teachers in the school said it was 287. Now later we are now hiring a different figure. Now lastly, the military said it was a kinetic and non-kinetic approach that was used to rescue these children. Now, they didn't give us specific details on that rescue operation. We didn't know how many bandits were neutralized, how many bandits were apprehended. These are the information people want to know because the government has come to tell us that they will not negotiate with these bandits, they will not pay ransom. Yes, we are aware. But then, if it is a rescue operation, we should at least get specific because many people, I can tell you, many people we've spoken with so far are saying that they are not even sure if it was a rescue operation, that it could be that the non-kinetic approach that the military was saying, probably it would have been a negotiation or so. Because we need specific, if you give us this specific, the public cannot trust that yes, indeed, it was a rescue operation. So these are some of the gray areas that are seriously pleading for, answers.
Yeah, Marvelous. I mean, a lot of issues, you've raised, and you're not the only one who's saying these things. It's shocking. I think for me, one of the most shocking parts is the part where the parents have not even seen their kids. Like, how do you have my child kidnapped for 3 weeks? And then when the child is now reportedly released, I can't even see that child. And you're having a banquet, whining and dining with other government officials without the parents of those children.
It's very
I mean, it's just not making any sense. Like, there's many things that just don't add up with the whole story, right from the kidnapping to their release. Questions also about these fabric. I mean, is there a tailor that is always on ground once there is about to be a release that takes measurements, sews these things for them, or do they have like someone who does like mass production of these fabrics for these children to, you know, before they are received by government? What exactly is going on?
Seriously, your gaze is almost the same gaze as mine. Look at how they were all dressed. They were new footwear they were wearing. They were new fabrics. And you now ask yourself, within that Sunday, when they arrived Kaduna, I think around, say, after 4 to 5, and then as at Monday around 1 o'clock, that was the exact time they arrived the government house. You now ask yourself, how were these fabrics sewn? How did they get their sizes accurate enough that all of them were wearing, what the tailor sewed for them? Or is it that the fabrics are already on ground? Your guess is as good as mine. And then one thing is that in that official handover, we don't know why the parents are not on ground, because the parents need to be on ground. They are the ones who authenticate that these children we are seeing their faces is our children, because you never can tell. Probably during the rescue operation, as the military are saying, they must have rescued other children whom were not, abducted from Kuriga, and probably they will not know if they are from Kuriga or not, because they don't even have the power to say that. It is only the parents that can say, yes, this person sitting down here is my child, and the other parent will say, no, I have not seen my child. So for them not to be there on ground is what we still don't understand.
That's
and these children have spent 16 days in captivity. Their parents are passionately waiting to see their faces. Now they've been released and they are unable to see their children. So these are some of the issues we're having here to contend with.
I don't think that there's any better way to put it. It is very irresponsible behavior that these children have been released, have not yet been reunited with their parents, and we don't even know exactly, like Marvelous, our correspondent has mentioned, we don't even know what the actual number is of the children that have been released. And more importantly, you know that when it comes to issues of showing children on television, you need their consent, you need their parents' consent. If these children are younger than 18, why do we feel the need to keep showing them on television without even having had them, speak with their parents or spend some time with their parents? So many questions that need answers, and I'm hoping that the government will step up and give us the answers that we need. Marvelous Obomanu, thank you very much. We hope to get more updates, and hopefully the next time we speak with you, these children will have reunited with their parents, because it's very embarrassing, to put it mildly.
We hope so. We hope so. We really do hope so.
All right. Thanks a lot, Marvelous. Stay safe. We'll speak with you pretty soon.